Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's On The Social. This is the show where you take control and send in questions for me to answer. Once again, we've got quite a few questions coming. So these ones have been chosen at random. So if I don't read out your question, don't get offended. We just get so many sent in. So I'm going to kick it off today. One here from Twitter, from @OasisLOLX. Do you think against the bottom teams we should be playing more attacking fullbacks like Masuaku/Fredericks? I love Zaba loads, but surely Fredericks is a better attacking option against lower teams. If we hold possession well, we shouldn't need defensive fullbacks as much. Yeah, look, I understand what you're saying now. Totally agree. I think sometimes West Ham take teams for granted, just a bit like Huddersfield at the weekend. We need to treat every team the same, whether you're playing Man City or Huddersfield. I get what you're saying with the attacking fullbacks, but for me, I think Zabaleta's playing so well this season, it'd be hard to drop him. But maybe pushing Fredericks maybe further forward and playing Zaba and Fredericks. And you can also, if you want to mix it up a bit down the left, you can play Masuaku as a left winger in front of Creswell. Because for me, Masuaku defensively is not as good as Creswell. But going forward, attacking wise, Masuaku is a lot better. So yeah, there's a lot of different options there. Look, as we know, Zabaleta looks like he's retiring now. We thought he was leaving the club, but it looks like he's retiring now at the end of the season, which is a massive blow. Not only for West Ham, but for football. He's a great player and he's a fantastic person. But Fredericks now has got to take that chance. Whether we go out and sign another right back in the summer to give him competition, yeah, that will maybe push Fredericks on a bit more. But yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. And sometimes, depending on the game and how it's going, you've got them options to push Fredericks or Masuaku further forward. Right. WHU_Mike. If the rumours are true, Nasri on 80 grand per week. Surely if you're Rice, right now, that's almost an insult. The other day he said not to fear, but can't help thinking we should be prioritising the likes of Rice and Diagana over mercenaries. Yeah, look, I totally agree with you. We've got to look after our youngsters, especially Declan Rice. Not so much Diagana at the moment, but Declan Rice is an established first-team player now. I was at a boxing event the other day and I had the privilege to meet Declan Rice and talk to him. And I'll tell you now, I've never met a young player like him with such a older head on his shoulders. Honestly, the way you can tell he loves the club, you can tell he's happy. Listen, I was close to asking about his contract, but you know, them things, they're down to him and the club. I hope the club get it sorted. As for signing Nasri, yeah, I'm a bit mixed on it at the moment. I mean, the news come out today that it looks like he's broken down due to his fitness. So if the deal's not right for the club and for Pellegrini, then we need to move on and look at other options. But I can see what you're saying, 80 grand a week, and then we can't even offer Declan Rice 35 to 40, which he wants and which he deserves. Right. James McSporran. Although Rice clearly deserves a big money contract, do you think it will affect his performances if he gets what he wants? No, I don't think it will. Declan Rice at the moment he's like I said, he's in the previous question. He's a first team player now. It's his place to lose in the team. I think it might be affecting him a little bit that he just wants the contract done and dusted. But I think he's just, once he steps over that white line, he doesn't care about his contract. He just wants to play for the shirt, play for the badge, play for the fans, play for the team, and he wants to win games. But I hope it don't affect him. But me personally, I don't think it does. Right, Eric Bolden. Shouldn't we be going after young and upcoming players, not these old, washed-up has-beens? Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes it's good to get in a bit of experience. I mean, David Sullivan said that we weren't going to sign over a certain age a couple of seasons ago, and now we're linked with Nasri. I mean, Nasri's 31, so he's not old. I mean, I'm 35 in March, so when people are saying he's 31 and old, but yeah, look, Nasri on his day is a good player, but whether he's going to get the fitness, whether he can get up to the standard of Premier League football in that short space of time, that's a tough one. But look, let's just see what happens. But as for signing has-beens, I mean, we've been linked with a few other players over the past few weeks, and yeah, look, I can understand bringing in experience to help out, and especially when you're struggling. But I think you're right. We need to start looking at younger players and building on the young players we've already got in the team. Right, Ali Shah. Clearly, we need to spend again in January. But should we get a right back or left back in Jan, or wait until the summer? Also, shall we be looking to introduce more youngsters such as Grande Silva into the first team? The first part of that question, yes, I think we should be definitely maybe looking at another right back in January, if not definitely in the summer, because obviously we're losing Zabaleta. Masuaku for me is not a natural left back, so we need someone to challenge Creswell in there. So I'd be bringing in another left back and maybe playing Masuaku more forward as a winger. The answer to the second part of that question, should we be bringing more youngsters in? Grande Silva, from what I've seen of him in the under-23s, is a fantastic player, fantastic prospect. Might be a bit too soon for him, but people might have said that about Diagana, and look how he's settled into the first team. I know a lot of people said that about Declan Rice. A lot of people are talking about him now being captain when Noble retires. So yeah, it's definitely good to give your youngsters a go. And if you're scoring in the under-23s every week, I know he's been injured for a little while, but once he gets back to full fitness, if he carries on scoring, then he definitely deserves to be in a matchday squad for the first team. Right, Aaron Stewart. Ryan, in January, I think we need 3 to 4 players in. With Nasri being rumoured to come, does this spell the end for Antonio? I also think we need a striker and a central, powerful midfielder and a left back, as I don't think Arthur is a left back, more left mid, and Creswell's not been the same since his injury. Well, it's quite a few things to answer there. 3 to 4 players, yeah, I think you're right there, especially with Sanchez and Yarmolenko being out for the season. We need replacements for them. Lanzini won't be back till probably late February, March time. Will it spend the end for Antonio? Who knows? I know there's rumours again that he's being linked with Crystal Palace. I mean, I've been a bit harsh on him. I don't like being harsh on Antonio because I like him as a player, but lately he's not the same player. We can all see that. But I think on Saturday when he come on against Huddersfield, he did affect the game a little bit. He frightened them with his strength and pace. So yeah, as for a central powerful midfielder, I know we've been talks of Drinkwater or Loftus-Cheek coming in from Chelsea. There'd be 2 great signings. But yeah, I think there'll definitely be a few more signings, especially in that midfield. As for Masuaku and Creswell, as I've said, Masuaku for me is not defensively good enough. Creswell is. I'd like to see Masuaku play a bit more forward. Creswell, I think he's done all right the last couple of games, but you're right, he hasn't been the same since his injury, but he is still a good player, and let's hope that a few more starts, he gets a bit more confident, and he can go on to be our first choice left back, just like he was for a couple of seasons ago. Right, James Edrupt, simple one. Nasri, yes or no? Yes. And the reason why I'm going to say yes is because I'm going to look at the positives more than negatives. Positives are, he's a good player. He obviously knows Pellegrini. And I think if we can get him fit, him linking up with Arnautovic, Hernandez, Anderson, it'll be massive because, as I said, he's a good player. He's good for Arsenal, good for Man City. Didn't really see much of him when he went abroad. I know he hasn't played for 18 months, but he hasn't been injured for 18 months. It was a doping ban. So he can start training, I think from the beginning of December. I think he can start training with the club. Obviously, he can't play until January. But if he can get in a whole month's training and get himself a little bit fit and then just ease into the matchday squad. We've got Wilshere coming back now, Andy Carroll coming back. So personally, I'd take him, but I can see why the negatives, lack of fitness, big wages, 6-month deal, just the old rumours. But we need players. So I think Nasri would be a decent signing. Right, Colin O'Toole. What's your favourite Christmas carol? In your opinion, has the delay in Declan Rice's contract more to do with the international dilemma than wage demands? The first part of that question, what's my favourite Christmas carol? To be honest, it'll probably be Andy Carroll if he starts scoring during the Christmas period and gets us up that table. But we wish you a Merry Christmas. That's a decent one. But my favourite Christmas song, Fairy Tale in New York, love that song. As for the Declan Rice, yeah, maybe the international thing is a bit to do with it, because I think that if he chooses England and he gets an England cap, then he's going to be sought after by top clubs. He already is. I believe that there's bigger clubs looking at him already. So the best thing that we can do, the best signing for us in January would be Declan Rice, without a shadow of a doubt. We need to get him tied down. As I said, I was lucky enough to meet him the other day. He's a lovely person. You can see he loves the club. He loves playing for the fans. And we love him. So let's hope the owners get this one tied down quick. Right. Ben Watts. I know it's not about West Ham, but Bayern 7 points behind. Is it time for Dortmund to win the German league? I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't really watch the German football. I only really watch the Premier League. I'll be honest with you, I don't really watch that much of Spanish football that much anymore. It's bored me the last few years. There's only one game that everyone watches, and that's the El Clasico. But as for, I know Bayern have dominated German football for a long time, so maybe it'd be good for German football for another team to win it. But from what I say, what are they, 7 points behind? They can make that up in a few games. So it wouldn't surprise me if Bayern go on to win the Bundesliga. Moving on. Tony K. Gerlin. What do we do about Carroll? Me and Nicky had this debate yesterday on our radio show. For me, I know there's rumours that he's got a 2-year contract extension that he can trigger, or he wants to go to America. For me, personally, look, I keep saying it's a fully fit Andy Carroll, but he's never fully fit. But I still think Andy Carroll is effective as a squad player. And for me, if he was to come to some sort of arrangement with the board that this 2-year extension is a pay-as-you-play, because he's earned a lot of money out of us over the last 6 years he's been here. So if he loves West Ham, he loves the area, he's settled down here, then take a pay-as-you-play deal. And I think the fans would accept that, because, as I said, on his day, Andy Carroll, any squad in the Premier League would love a fully fit Andy Carroll, because he's going to affect games. He wouldn't start for every team, but he would affect games if you're chasing a game or if you're defending a game. So for me, I would keep him. But if he goes, he goes, basically. And then, yeah, that's it for this week's questions. Good little mixture of questions there. As always, keep subscribing to the channel. Give me your thoughts below on any of the questions. Give me your answers if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me. As you know, it's international break. England in action twice this week. Thursday against the USA, the return of Wayne Rooney for his 120th cap. Hasn't gone down well. And then on Sunday, I believe, the UEFA Nations League, we play Croatia. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the 2 England games. I've enjoyed watching England. Obviously, since the World Cup, most of us fell in love with England again. But, yeah, there's no West Ham this weekend. So there'll be no previews from Scott this week. No post-match point, no fan cam. So Nicky, I think Nicky's got a midweek musings coming up. Dan will have a West Ham week. Then we go into next week. We'll have to build up to the Manchester City game. Be honest, not really looking forward to that game. But look, yeah, I'll leave that there. Thank you so much for watching this week's show. I'm Ryan Archer. One thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.